Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Desert Global Lab patch notes reading for September 19th. So, apparently we got more class changes and other, quality of life game updates. And if you guys don't know, your first time watching a video of mine, basically these Global Lab patch notes, they come to the live server the following week, and unless there's a delay, it's historically been accurate to come out in the next week. So anyway, this is translated from Korean to English on the official Global Lab site, so if you want to read it, I'll leave a link in the description. Just keep that in mind. I'll try to make it make sense. But with that said, this week has some PvP changes, and I'm starting to notice that a lot of the classes have a lot of the same, the classes that they're trying to fix are the same cycle of them over and over. So it's good if you play that class and you're a main. It's not good if you play something and you're waiting for buffs. So it is what it is. I assume over the next few weeks, they just kind of roll it out shortly and, it just happens whenever it happens. So with that said, Sork, admittedly, there's a lot of classes I don't really know that well. So we're just going to read through it and I'll see if it looks or feels better. So, all right. Succession, Sork received PvP performance with their intended playstyle. So yeah, keep in mind, these are all PvP changes for this week. And Dark Flame PvP damage increased alongside of Black Wave. Some of these skills might have a different name because it's Korean to English translated. So if you play on the English server, it's probably something different. So yeah. Let's see, Flame of the Abyss, down attack. Yeah, so I think I noticed a lot of down attacks have either been removed, added, depending on the class, or slightly tweaked. Yeah, that's one of the big things. Dream of Doom changed that 50% crit hit. This chance is applied to hit before gather. What the hell? Let me retry that. Crit hit chance is applied to hit damage before the gathering is complete. Okay. Damage applied rate in PvP. That's good. Numbers go up. That's good. Yeah. Sort. Good change for Succession players. Zerkers getting a buff and tweaked for like the 5th week in a row. I think they watched Choice's stream and they're like, all right, we got to make our biggest streamer happy again so he can play Zerker again. That's why we're getting buff. I'm mostly joking about that. But anyway, let's see. Awakening Berserker now has super armor on ground lifting to improve combo stability, and floating in PvP will only apply when you've learned a core. Does Zerker really need more, protection? Do they really need more CCs and protection? They already have a larger health pool than the rest of the other classes for that reason. So they're like, more health on top of more protections on top of more CCs. I don't know, that just seems like, a lot of classes have one specific trait that's exclusive to them. Zerkers just kind of have everything. Protection, larger HP pool, high mobility. Well, maybe not awakening, but we'll see. Let's see. However, if you haven't learned the core, this statement is irrelevant, because if you're min-maxing your build, chances are most people have the exact same core, which is, the awakening specific thing. Cores are the one you pick one of 6. And then, chances are grab is the strongest CC in the game. And they're kind of trying to buff that, even though it's not supposed to be. I think CCs are... They toned it down last year. And now they're trying to buff it again, and the whole entire community was against that, and now they're trying to fix it. Weird. Okay, so the effect of increasing like AP on successful hit has been removed, and the effect of reducing all damage. So no more AP buff, and the effect of DR, like minus DR for people, has been added instead. So basically, it's a buff in a way that, like, if you CC someone, you're debuffing them and then being able to do more damage because Zerkers have, like, lower base damage. And so it feels like... I feel like debuffs are stronger than AP buffs, but that's just how I feel. I have no idea. Like, 20 AP is probably diminishing returns, whereas minus 20 is probably, if you stack that on top of debuffs, it goes a lot harder. But that's just my feeling. I have no idea how the numbers actually work behind the scenes like that. Okay, so that's the grab, right? That's the grab. Added a minus 20 damage reduction to all damage when hitting successfully. The effect of slowing down the character has been removed. So if you successfully grab someone, they take a damage reduction. What in the world? Dude, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you grab someone, assuming that's it, that's the strongest CC in the game. A grab. Some classes don't even have it. The effect of slowing down the character movement has been removed. Okay. Awakening added the ability to ground lift, and super armor effect added. Okay, so you grab the slam, very standard combo with ancient wave. I don't know, but like, if you've ever gotten hit by an ancient wave, that thing like hurts. Like, and on top of debuffs, I think Zerkers are probably going to be able to like one combo people. Like, they have been able to do that before, but even now it's even easier now. Mobile fire, is that the cannon leap thingy? Okay, so okay, giant leap with the, like, when you jump backwards and then fire off the cannon. I think that's what it is, or is that another thing? Deal 2 times the damage instead of 1.5. Cool. Hit damage. Holy dude, that 1,500 to 4,000. That's a lot of damage. Ancient wave flow 2.5 to 1.5. I think that's overall. I don't know why Zerkers are getting tweaked every single week, where like some classes like Maywa don't get anything for like a while. Everyone was so excited last week when Corsairs got buffed, and then we have Zerkers getting tweaked again. Like, it is what it is. Zerkers are top tier. I don't care what anyone says, especially for PvP. All right, Valkyrie Succession focused on improving the Prime Shining Dash now in small scale. Opponents will have to be more cautious of openings. Knockdown, okay. So, change to be able to... Activation ability is different. Skill charge has been changed from 40 to 35 seconds to 50. That's a huge difference. Like 40 to 35 to 15 to 10. That's huge. What in the world? Okay. A rush of brilliant light. Oh, that's for speed at which a character rotates. Fat cooldown. Those are the things I like to see for every class. Cooldown buffs are very huge for everyone who knows how to play their class efficiently, and 1 second of timing is extremely huge. Distance charge, cooldown increase. Overall, this seems pretty good. All right, Dark Knight. This one is Awakening. PvP Dark Knight Awakening. Down attack added to Grip of Grudge literally makes 0 sense because the ability is like you're shooting out like a wave. And does that do a down attack? Probably not, but I'm glad it's being added. Does it look normal? Probably not. Down smash has been removed from... Dude, what is this skill called? Spirit something. Either way, this is one of those things that's like a filler skill. Like when all your main abilities are on cooldown, you just start swinging this to like kill a second and then reset. All right, a knockdown effect has been added upon successful hit. This one seems like it should add a knockdown. This one is like something that was used as filler damage, but now that it has a knockdown, I think this was actually very good for Awakening. A flow, the skill's attack judgment has been changed from floating to knockdown. I think that's very strong. Knockdowns are the strongest CCs next to a grab. Touch of Exploitation, another filler skill for Awakening. Before is bound, after it's floating. Okay. Bound versus floating. Well, floating... That means this is already comboed into something. It's not just like you're hitting this one and then you're getting floated. It's like the 4th skill in your cycle or something. Interesting change. We'll see how that plays out. The number of hits added to previous movement skills rearward is 2. The number of hits added to the previous movement. Oh, so like number times 2 hits. Okay. I always felt like this skill, you're not necessarily going in to hit people. Obviously, people use it in different ways. But it's more of like a move back to escape something more than like, I'm here to use this to stun you or whatever. So interesting. This is a good change. It hits 2 targets instead of 1. Very cool. When using a skill, the effect of 10% attack speed has been added. I see a lot of people using Spirit Hunt as a way to like cycle from normal to Awakening. You know how like certain skills will take you from main hand to Awakening. That is one of them. So I think this is actually a good thing because this is like an opener ability more or less. So I think that's good. Effect identical is to the F key on like your main hand dagger that increases attack speed. So there's 2 options now, I guess. Very cool. BSR, Spirit Hunting. I'm going to be honest, I haven't played Awakening enough to know what the Black Spirit, which ones are worth using for Awakening. Most people just Rage Absorb anyway. Remove the effect. Increases AP by 10. Oh, okay. I think these changes are good. However, they will do anything but buff Awakening DK damage. The hard truth is Succession is better in both PvP and PvE at the moment. And these are nice, but it doesn't matter if you can CC someone with the current meta of everyone being so tanky. And like, I guarantee you, if I was doing some like PvP playing Awakening, that your goal as a DK is not a frontliner. You're picking people off in the back lines or like the stragglers on the side. So in a 1v1, it doesn't matter if you knock someone down because your damage is not high enough, assuming equal gear. And so, like, even if you have all the gear, someone will still be able to get up before you do a full combo. Like, that is what it is. So I think these changes are good. They're just not, like, you probably still aren't going to be able to, like, one combo, you're going to have to, like, play it perfectly. Whereas other classes, you get grabbed, like a Zerker just grabs you, and now you're debuffed with the minus 20 DR thing. I think that's stupid. Like, all of that. How about, like, if you knock someone down with this ability, you minus 20 their DR as well? That would be nice, wouldn't it, huh? But anyway, I think this is a good start. The truth is, you're probably not... It's still gonna feel... You knock someone down, but you take down, like, 40% of their health. Like, oh, cool. That's about it. Alright, Lawn. With the Lawn Awakening's improvements, you won't have to rely solely on the Soul Rend pressure to pressure your enemies. You'll now have additional ways to strike at the weak points. Aren't Lawns, like, so mobile that, like, you can just back attack people without too much trouble? Like, just CC them and back attack them. Alright, let's see. Stiffness has been applied to players instead of just PvE, so both of that. And the player has been transferred to Chain Wheel. Oh, okay. So basically, Lawns can press more than 4 buttons in a rotation now. That's cool. I say that half as a joke, but, like, I think Lawn is a really easy PvEer. So now they can press more than 6 buttons. I was watching some of my guildies, like, do some grinding on Lawn, and it's just, like, literally a few buttons. Like, you see some other classes, when you see them grinding, you know the cooldown bar, right? It's a full line. Lawn is, like, 6 skills. I think it's funny, but also, like, I think that's not a bad thing. Like, if you're one of those players who just wants to play an easy class, and you just want, like, you want to be decent, but your APM isn't that high or something, Lawn is a great class. Okay, Judgment changed from stiffness, added a forward guard. Does not move to enemies that have been successfully hit. This seems like an actually good change. And damage has been adjusted. 1,000 times 2 to 4,000 times 1, up to 2 hits. That seems like a big damage increase. Okay. Guardian. Previously, Awakened Guardian could combo skills faster when using quick slots than with manual controls. Okay, yeah. I always told people, learn the skill combos with everything. So, like, let's say the key combos, the reason why is some have longer animations. And if you, like, you hit a combo with, like, let's say you put it on your quick slot on 1, you do that, but sometimes it locks in the animation, and so you can't cancel it. That's why I always tell people, learn the key press for all your classes, and then that way you'll learn how to do various cancels in various classes. So they've improved the manual controls so you can combo just as quickly no matter how you play. Yeah. Learn your key combos. Things are faster. Okay, so all of these, I think they're just like, if you're doing manual, instead of pressing, like, finger pecking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your quick slots, it'll be just as fluent. PvP damage was overly concentrated with a few skills. We've rebalanced for damage numbers. Buffed, nerfed, nerfed, nerfed. Slight buff, 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 buff. Okay, so most of the things are buffs. That's good. Do I think archers really needed a damage buff? So my experience in PvP with archers is they're kind of glass cannons, kind of like Dark Knights. They actually have higher mobility than Dark Knights. In fact, they probably have the highest mobility class in the game, next to, like, Lawn or something. But with that said, if you get grabbed or you get caught, then it's over, but you do a lot of damage. I feel like it was probably a deserved. They probably do need more damage just because gear scaling has been a thing over the past year. So with everyone being like 350 plus AP these days going into Edania, numbers probably needed to be tweaked. So I think this is fine. Scholar getting buffed for like the 4th week in a row. Added an effect that increases attack speed by 15% for 15 seconds. Very cool. Dosa can support allies through elements, generate on top of that. He also wields damage. Didn't they nerf Dosa like last week and they're buffing it again? Or is it that just like PvE was last week PvE after like look at that again? Nerf, buff, nerf, slight buff, nerf. Interesting. I don't know enough about Dosa to give you any sort of accurate like feedback on that one. Deadeye, oh boy, dude. Deadeye is kind of cracked and they're finally toning it down. This makes me happy. Like, usually, no one likes getting nerfed. It is what it is. But there are some classes that are extremely overtuned, and Deadeye is one of them. So, all of these numbers are down. Kind of deserved, but we'll see how badly that affects things. I also saw, or like I heard that Deadeyes are able to hit other players like off screen. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, ability to inflict high damage from beyond an opponent's view distance. The fact that they can write that seems like it's a range issue more than damage. So like tone down the range, keep the damage, probably fine. But they decided to nerf damage instead, so you can still hit people off screen. It just won't hurt as much, when I think the real problem is the range. So Pearl Abyss logic is different from us. Class modifications and changes. Why are 4 of them for Zerkers? What in the world? Dude, what are they doing to Zerkers? Like, every week there's a change. Like, literally every week. But some classes don't get any. Dark Knight fixed an issue where the down attack was not displayed in the description of Darkness Scatter. So we got like a text issue fix, but Zerker gets actual fixes. I see. Sage, the issue where it's difficult to use the last gesture technique with WF has been improved. Actually, cool. The battle array. Okay, so new stuff. This is for the Edana weekly that most people won't be able to do because the entire system is stupid. And I think they should have it like every week. You know how they only pick 10 people for the free-for-all, and then if you win that free-for-all, you fight the Edana, right? So that's how it works. They should have it like a tournament bracket. You know, like brackets, you should pick like, more than 10 people. Pick like 50 people every week in a tournament. And then the way they could change it is instead of the Edana winning all the tax bonuses and stuff, they should do like first place gets obviously the big amount of silver from all the tax and their like area region buff. But also the people who qualify and win the free-for-all, they should get like a second place participation reward or something. And so, you know how like right now the free-for-all and the Edana fight, it comes down to who has more gear. And like everyone builds DR, everyone builds evasion, and you're just stacking defensives more than damage. I think they really need to tweak the entire system of how it works, because like all you have to do is, make sure your health is full at the end, and then the person with the highest gear score wins. I think it should be changed to who does the most damage by the end of the timer, maybe shorten the timer a little bit. And then, you know, people don't even show up. Like when you fight your weekly boss, right? You get that token that allows you to say like, hey, I'm interested in participating in the free-for-all, right? But it's only 10 people, and like most of the people don't even show up unless you're like actually dedicated to it. So I think they should invite more people, make it like a tournament bracket, and it's like a once a week thing that, you know, people who think they're god gamers can participate in, and then, you know, I think that would be more fun. But that's how I would change it. Right now, it's kind of wild, actually. Anyway, Tenebraum Castle has been changed. The descriptions of cronstones, memory fragments, and Layla petals have been updated to reflect the latest information. What did they... Wait, what? What did they change? What are people confused about cronstones with? You use cronstones so your gear doesn't downgrade. You use them. If you're an endgame player, the game revolves around cronstones. Memory fragments, they repair the durability of your gear. I don't know what they're confused about. Layla petals, you turn these into a fairy, or you can get some other rewards at the Kamasilv Temple. If people were confused about the description of that, I don't know what you're doing. Zyphris Castle, the starting speed when the bonus gimmick in progress has been improved by 60%. So yeah, last week they added a AFK phase. So like you fight the Beelzebub, the Fire Frog, and then you get like 2 minutes of AFK phase. They're trying to speed up that AFK phase, and so it goes faster. And then sometimes when you kill the boss, it takes like, you know, I've seen people take 0 or like 5 seconds all the way up to like 30 seconds for the AFK phase to start. They're trying to improve that one. I think that's a good change. Absolutely. And then 20% faster than before, but the enemies are going to spawn as fast. So it's essentially more trash loot overall. I think that's good. Good change. The range at which the Shadow Knight searches for Capris energy has been increased. So right now, you know, the Knight, I don't know how many people grind this spot because it's like super hard. Not really hard, it's just high gear requirements to do it. But like the Shadow Knight, you see the Capris energy, the red petal swirly thingy, right? The Shadow Knight spawns behind it, and then you basically AoE everything down there. And then it does this like dash. It looks like a spiral torpedo from Mystics, right? We don't want that to move as much because it does like a dash, like you're AoEing everything, and it just like zooms out of it. We don't want that. That's bad. So concerning, but we'll see. Zyphris Shadow Knight has been improved to return accurately to original location when there are no hostile targets. Actually good change. For anyone that's grinded this spot for more than like 5 hours, actual good change. Tenebraum Castle. The central altar has been changed to summon 4 stone tablets around it. What the heck does that mean? Dude, I got my 4 titles from there. That means you like grinded what, like 20, 30 hours or something. Due to this change, when entering the secret room, the stone tablet will no longer be created and will summon after 10 seconds. After striking this tablet, Karshian altar, the tablet will be improved without a cooldown when quickly clearing the last wave of monsters. Actual good change. After the stone-shaped altar is in protection, the hunting grounds are all reset if the prophet remains and not killed within 5 minutes. Change this number to like 2 minutes. Because Orbita is like... Sometimes people say the Orbita spot is still bugged. Anything that has like you kill like towers and then waves of enemies has been a weird spot. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of clunky and bugged. So Ethereum Castle is fine, from my understanding. Zyphris Castle, I've heard people say it's bugged, but from my experience, I only have like maybe 7 or 8 hours there. But the Zyphos Castle has always been fine for me. Nymphomere Castle is overall fine, but anything with big towers, like where you have to do mechanics, has not been fine. So anyway, I'm just glad I'm done with the spot. Like, good lord, the amount of bug towers I've seen grinding there in like 30 hours is kind of crazy. When the bonus gimmick of the Ethereum Castle Hunting Grounds is improved to grant high damage reduction for a short amount of time. So the one issue I have, or I only have like 2 hours here, but you know how after you kill a bunch of waves, you turn into the lightning ball and then you basically one-shot everything? That's cool. If you iframe it, you straight up miss like 30 seconds of free damage. They need to improve that part of it. As for high damage reduction, it's probably fine. Cool. It's not a big deal. Also, maybe tone down the effects of that, because I'm pretty sure people are going to get a seizure, epilepsy warning, you know, this bright, it can't see anything. That's the only really complaints I have about Ethereum Castle, aside from the loot is not so great, but, you know, it is what it is. They should give the other Edania crystal, like the one from Nymphomere, at Ethereum. That way it helps, like, beginner Edania players get into, like, Orbita and everything a little bit faster. I think that would be good. Instead of the wand crystal that's, like, plus 15, you're better off grinding, like, Darkseekers or Elvia or Zeki and just upgrading your gear that way. All right, so Edania subquests. A story has been added, something about Zyphos Castle. Sure, new quests and knowledge. Added more knowledge. UI. Improvements have been made so the family names of adventure who left a guild guest book are no longer exposed in the block history. What does that mean? Oh, like when you write a note on someone's guild page during the guild info? Oh, okay. Do people actually read that? I didn't know that. Okay. Change so you can navigate to Edania without having a compass in general inland areas such as Velia. Wait. You haven't been able to compass to Edania? Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, yeah, you can. I've literally compassed a guildie into Edania. What in the world? Maybe that's just very specific instance. Bunch of fixes and changes. The issue where the text in a red battlefield penalty warning message has been extended beyond the background image. Oh. Why is it that every week I read patch notes, there's something wrong with controllers? I don't know, man. Like, what's wrong with the controllers? It's like every week for the past, like, 8 years, there's something wrong with it, and I don't understand. Interesting. All right. Nothing like general. Everything is just very specific. All right. Anyway, so that's the patch notes for this week. A bunch of PvP class changes. The new grind spots tweaked. Edania thing that won't matter to 99% of players. Well, 99.9% of players. UI. overall, it's an okay change. Nothing super exciting. But anyway, with that said, thanks so much for watching. If you're new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you guys come back. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.